What up, what up, what up, world? It's your boy J Star back again with the final look at the Saturday slate, man, for week 15. We're going to get into this as we always do. A lot of the stuff is kind of the same from I'm sure, my first video, my first look here, but we are going to at least look at some injuries here to see if anything new has came up. So it looks like we got Madison's going to be out for, of course, the Vikings. And then we got Jalen Naylor is going to be out with concussion. Offensive tackle, Brian O'Neill is going to be out. Questionable for Jefferson and their guard, Chris Reed. Bengals looks like Drew Sample is going to be questionable. Offensive tackle, Carmen is illness, okay. And Bocce, linebacker, is going to be questionable too. On to the next game here. We got Kenny Pickett out and then questionable for, what is that, left tackle or something like that? Looks like it for Isaac. So then for the Colts, we got Jonathan Taylor, of course, out. Right tackle, Brandon Smith is out. And then a linebacker, Selgin is out with a hip injury. And then looks like the Lions game and the Broncos, we got Greg Dulcich is still out, okay. Outside linebacker, Bonita is out. And then questionable for PJ Locke, at safety. And then it looks like nobody's out for the Lions, just some questionables for Reynolds, offensive tackle Decker, and then there's center Ragnow and Benito Jones. Okay, so we're good for that. Looks like it's not too many injuries that we are going to be able to take advantage of or anything like that. Besides, I believe, did he even say? It's weird. I don't even remember reporting that. Did I just say it? Oh yeah, I just said it. Okay. So besides the fact, we got Madison at least out, so we do have a cheaper running back. They didn't really make them that much cheaper than what they had Madison for. This team doesn't really run anyway. So in this first game, man, I was looking at some notes here and looking at ways that these teams are planning on attacking each other. So let me get my notes up there. So for the Vikings, to attack the Vikings, a lot of teams have been attacking out wide and in the slot area. So when it comes to Browning, his targets there are going to be, of course, Chase, and then we got Higgins, and then of course Boyd, for all the slot area and then out wide, right? So it looks like you're going to be looking to go here. The run game is going to be very hard. A lot of teams don't really run too well against the Vikings, but pass catching, if you are doing, actually pass catching to your back, then you actually have an opportunity. So Mixon could be in play. If that's the case, I would kind of, be less on Boyd. We'll be looking more at these two plays here. Higgins has an easier matchup, I believe, than Chase does. So let me check again. I believe it is. Yeah, Higgins' matchup is actually easier with Murphy. So I would probably be looking more towards Higgins in this game. His price is really cheap too to me, especially if somehow he gets about 8 targets or so like that. I can definitely see him hitting. And this is second game back. The first game back we saw with like 3 targets or something for him, 4 targets, and he still had 72 yards. So I think a double up on those targets. He's probably hitting for a 100-yard game. Mixon, like I said, for the pass catching part, let's look at. Since they kind of switched to Browning, we had 7 targets and 4 targets, and we're coming off of touchdowns. Well, those are all rushing touchdowns there. No touchdowns in the pass. Yeah, but in the rushing, I expect it to be very hard for them to run against the Vikings here. He's going to probably have to get those 7 targets to possibly be able to hit for that 6,600 salary. But if not, like I said, I'm probably more leaning to these two and more, like I said, more like a Higgins skinny stack, if anything, probably with Browning here. On the other side here, we got Mullins playing. They're probably going to be in a super game managing type of game plan here. They're not going to want to turn over the ball and then lose out on being in the wild card spot for the playoffs for Minnesota. So I expect them to play very safe here in this game until possibly the end when they're trying to make, big plays and stuff like that. I still definitely believe Hawkinson is going to be huge in that because of the fact that he's a safe option to throw to. His ADOT is very short. And also his matchup is just too amazing here. Like, they are really bad against the tight ends. So I expect them to attack there. Also, let's see, where's the other area that most teams are attacking the Bengals at? It's looking like that tight end in the pass catching back area. So there could be, some Ty Chandler. I believe he is the pass catching back. Just make sure again. You talking about 3-2 targets? They don't really pass like, even to their running back. So, but I can see Ty Chandler, slipping past them in that backfield. I think the run too should be there for him a little bit, and definitely pass catching to him. There's not a lot of film on him for Cincinnati to be able to scheme up against him. So I think he can actually do something here and get some good production there. But I'm looking at somewhere in between these plays here. Also, I thought it was a slot area too. But yeah, there's a slot area too. So I'm also looking at if Jefferson is not playing, then I believe that moves Osborne back out wide and moves Powell in play. So Powell at 3,100 could be a good play. And then if Jefferson is playing, then Osborne would more than likely be a very good play there. So that's where I would be looking at. I know Jefferson, also, he is one of their best plays and things like that. You can definitely take shots there. You can definitely take shots at Addison if you want to. I'm just looking for the best plays, though, on the short game slate here. So, Osborne, like I said, or Powell, depending on if Jefferson is playing. So, but besides that, these two seem like they probably have the best opportunity to actually produce pretty well here. I even also like the Minnesota defense there, too, as well, because all that blitzing that they do is just causes a lot, of sacks or good pressure and, getting to the quarterback and things like that. Could be a sack fumble or end up throwing a pick because of that. And I don't think Browning has played a team yet that's, that definitely doesn't blitz as much as Minnesota because they're like top in the league. So could be in for, a pretty rough game for him there because of that. And we got Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts here. And it's looking like Minshew, I would say, definitely should be attacking. Let's see. Where is everybody attacking Steelers at? Looks like out wide in the slot. So we got definitely here then Pittman is going to be in play. Even a value play in 3,500 Pierce. And then also, of course, then since it's the slot area, we got Downs all in play. You already know he's been going heavily to Pittman as of lately, playing the same style of defense too. So I'm expecting Pittman and him to be able to connect very well here, even with Patrick Peterson being, the harder matchup. Probably should be a harder matchup, but lately I would say that the notes is showing Patrick Peterson hasn't been doing that well, at least for yards after the catch type players, and his touchdowns is pretty high too, still there too. Also, I would say the slot area is where they're giving up the most touchdowns at with Levi Wallace. So look for Downs, Pittman to be a really good play. Maybe not so much Pierce, so I would probably eliminate Pierce here more and be picking these two. If I'm thinking Minshew is having a really great game here, yards and stuff after the catch with Pittman, hitting some touchdowns, possibly finally the Downs. Maybe some people aren't on Downs because he's been down lately with production, but I'm thinking definitely this could be a bounce back here. The defense shows up like they were just showing up. I could have swore think last week was their worst one. Yeah, but we was looking at 4 straight weeks of double-digit points. Defense has been showing up pretty well. They're scoring a touchdown. They even scored a touchdown the last week. Just got scored on, I guess, too much there and dropped them, of course. So they've been doing really good here. And if they end up showing up, I don't see why Minshew couldn't have another good game. We also got the run factor here, too. Zach Moss possibly could get some decent rushing yards, possibly get a goal line touchdown in this game and actually be relevant for fantasy here. 6,200 is kind of pricey from what he's been doing lately, but he's getting like mad touches, and of course even getting all the targets too there at running back. So they're trying to get him going. We're just waiting for a good, game script for him. And he's at home. I think that was that back-to-back games on the road for them too. Let's check back on that. Yeah, it was back-to-back games on the road. So first game back home with him starting, I expect a better, game planning for him. And like I said, they can end up getting that goal line carries or something like that, or that pass catching and he actually gets in that touchdown this time. Like I definitely believe Trubisky is going to have probably a harder time here. Like I said, the Colts defense has been like really good lately. So Trubisky on the other end here, looking like you're going to need to attack on the Colts. Let's see, where is it at? So it looks like out wide, I believe the best matchup here is supposed to be Deontay Johnson, though. So he has the best matchup. And then besides that, it's going to be pass catching backs is where everybody likes to attack with. So we got, of course, 2 backs that they kind of use with Warren and Najee. The more explosive to me would be Warren, but somehow Najee seems to always steal the touchdowns or something like that and ends up outplaying them. So they're both going to be in play here. I would lean towards Warren more and Deontay Johnson if I actually thought, Trubisky is going to be able to hold up here and do well. Also, let's see, though. Tight end also could be decent too. Trubisky, I don't see why he wouldn't be throwing the fryer move. 3,900 is very cheap. I can definitely see him getting, mad targets and actually producing very well here. We was at the beginning attacking the Colts in that tight end area. At the beginning of the season, they were really bad there, so it could come back to hunt them, in this game here if they end up going to Freiermuth enough. So I definitely think he's in play too. Deontay Johnson and Freiermuth, something like that, I think would be the best plays to go with Trubisky. And of course, like I said, the running back is in play, but they are on the road, so they will have to pass catch their way, I think, to getting that type of production. This last game here, we're looking at big fireworks here. I think this is going to be an explosion for points here in this game here. I think the first two games have, defense could, cause it to be a little bit more offensive in those games, but but it's kind of like one-sided. I think they will be a lower, scoring games for sure. I think both defenses in these two games right here, I think the defense will show up, on one side, period. But on this game here, I don't really see too much defense here. I'm looking at both offenses, been pretty hot. I think they're going to keep it rolling here, and they're going to come out just firing on all cylinders and everything like that. Both of these teams are, one team is trying to win a division. The other team is in the hunt to stay in the wild card. So it's a big game here, definitely. So we're going to start off with, the golf side of things. I believe the running backs both are going to be in play here. So, this team is going to try to establish the run. They're going to give goal line carries to either one of these backs, so it's just about really how many times do you think they're going to get there. And then it looks like for receiver weapons, St. Brown, I said it earlier this week, I think this is a bounce back game for him. Like, he's been putting up, very low numbers as of lately, but like I said before, he doesn't usually do too well against one high safety teams, and this is 4 of them right here in a row. We had the last 2 high safety with 33 points. And so now we get another 2 high safety team here, and we possibly expecting another 30 to 28 point St. Brown here. Also, though, we know the Denver Broncos is bad at the tight end area too. So Laporta is going to be in play, but I do notice that sometimes it seems like when they have one of these running backs and St. Brown going, Laporta gets kind of left behind. So if I think kind of Laporta is doing really, really good, it kind of makes me think St. Brown is not doing that well then, because one of them are going to have to be, like, what I want to say, have lower fantasy points, period. Production is going to be lower for one of these, too. So we do know the Broncos aren't really good at the tight end area. Most teams are attacking the Broncos at the tight end, and then, of course, a pass catching back, running back area, and things like that. So, but if they do, get St. Brown going, which I think they will in this game, because they have a good recipe of, scheming up very well against 2 high safety looks. Plus, their 2 cornerbacks are out wide. Their weakest cornerback will be in the middle of the field, in the slot, and they have their best weapon in the slot area too as well. Denver has been vulnerable to really good slot receivers and giving up really good fantasy points there. So I definitely think it's more of a St. Brown and, these 2 backs with Goff or something like that. I would kind of kick out Laporta just because of the fact, like, they have other weapons they can go to, and he ends up not getting the fantasy points we need, compared to like how we got the Minnesota game where it's just only Hawkinson there, and especially if Jefferson doesn't play. But even if Jefferson plays, it's still 1-2 Hawkinson Jefferson or Jefferson Hawkinson is how their offense works. So on the other side here with Wilson, no matter what the matchup is going to be, Sutton is going to be the guy. So I'm gonna just already put him there. But in this game, it's looking like, let's see. So for the Lions side of things, wide out is where they're attacking, and in the slot. So that's where they're being attacked at the most. So it does put Judy in play. It also puts Mims in play. I think Mims has a really good matchup, but like I said, this team will always move Sutton into those best matchups too as well. So that could put Sutton in that same good matchup. But I think Mims could actually hit even on 2 targets in this game. He is a deep threat. This game is going to cause for a lot of, throwing for, I believe, for the Denver Broncos, because Detroit is really good against the run. Don't really see any other running backs actually working out for them. And also that the fact that they don't really have a tight end. I know Trotman did score that 1 touchdown last week, but he hit on 3 targets. You're gambling right here with 1 and 2 targets every game, and then you're hoping that he hits again. But at $3,000, that 9 points is not going to get it done for us. We need like a good 12 to 15 points. So now just making like one lineup, man, here. Get all this open again. Thinking, man, I'm definitely going to. I'm gonna do a little different on this lineup because I went with Goff the last time, so I'm gonna go with Russell. I just think that game is a really great game here. I'm gonna go with Russell and a double stack here with Sutton and Mims. Just go ahead and attack that out wide area here for now, and then definitely gonna run back. Let's go to the running back here. I'm gonna go with Gibbs, and I want to run back St. Brown. And I can also run back, let me see. Do I want to run back St. Brown for sure, or do I want to run back Laporta? Probably I'm going to go ahead and run back St. Brown here. At running back here, second running back here, I'm thinking about maybe taking a Zach Moss. Here. Like I said, it's his first time at home. Pittsburgh has been vulnerable against the run there. I think he actually gets in, for the goal line touchdown or something like that. Their defense has been showing up very well. I kind of want their defense, but let's see if we can even get there. So at tight end, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Hockenson just because it's less of a competition for him compared to Laporta, and if not, like I would be cool with Freiermuth, but there is a lot of competition there too as well for him to not end up getting the points I need him to get. I do like Freiermuth though still because it also could just go, they could end up going heavily to him if they have taken away, the receivers and like Pickens or something like that. Then they're going to go Deontay Johnson and more than likely like a Freiermuth, but they do like to run a lot there too as well. So that kind of could ruin it too as well for them, for getting a lot of targets with Trubisky at quarterback too. So then we got 7,800 here. I kind of want to see, let's see. We take the Colts defense. We got 4,300. See, so we're at a Freiermuth area. Let's go back to this. We got Osborne, which is cool if we take Osborne. Osborne would be great if Jefferson ends up playing. He's in a good spot, like I said, so I don't mind taking him. We mentioned about Boyd because I believe that was another area that they do attack. Let's check that again, though. The Bengals, right? Yeah, people are attacking the Bengals. Wait, let me see that again. It was a tight end and a running back. Okay, so never mind. So maybe not so much a Boyd, but Osborne definitely is a play. Oh, my bad. I did that wrong. Yeah, I was right. It was Boyd. My bad. Boyd is a play, so I might take Boyd, but let me check it. Like, since they have Browning, we're looking at 7 targets, but that was without Higgins. Then when Higgins got back, we got only 3 targets. Okay. I'm thinking, like, in this area here, I'm either going to go ahead and just take Osborne and bank on that. I would say, like, Jefferson does play. He's in that slot area. I feel like that's a cool little spot for him. And then, or if Jefferson doesn't play, he's out wide. Yeah, so, okay. I'm going to do that, or I'm going to just go ahead from here and just go with Freiermuth. Because I do like Freiermuth, like I said. I do think there is a possible way where he ends up doing really well. I know we have some other value plays here. Like a Pierce. I don't mind taking a Pierce. It's just going to leave a lot of money on the table there, which definitely can happen in a 3-game slate here. But I'm going to go ahead and go with Freiermuth to end this off. I do like this. Double tight end feels like it could really be good this week for this Saturday slate, at least for sure, because we got Laporta and Hockenson. Freiermuth has already shown he could put up 20-something fantasy points. If the Colts defense shows up the way I think they possibly could, since they were on a big run, the points just enough from the Colts could make up for what Freiermuth gets, even if he gets like a 10. So I actually like this a lot. So that's how I'm going to end it, man, with this final look on the Saturday slate. Hopefully this video really helps y'all out. Y'all able to cash big. It's your boy J-Star. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace, y'all.